Hello and welcome to Geekified. Little bit of a different intro. It's normally Chris, but Chris is actually not using his voice very well at the moment. He's got a little bit of a problem with that. He's still here, right enough, and he'll be able to contribute while he can. But tonight we are taking off.
Yeah, I'll try and speak for bits of it, but I do sound like Zed from Police Academy. So,
And tonight we're joined by the wonderful Barry from Wolfman's Got Nerds.
Hello,
joining
guys.
the team at Geekified.
Glad to be here.
How are you, Barry?
I'm good, thanks. How are you guys? Well, apart from you listening. How are you guys anyway?
Not too shabby.
Superb, man. Superb.
Chris, how are you?
I'm average.
Average.
But average is the best I can do.
Ryan?
Superb, man. Yeah. Good. Just ready to talk about some I don't know, some horror type things, some different things we've got going on. But I'm good, man.
We literally just had a podcast episode 5 minutes before we hit record.
Yeah, probably. That's what I was saying. Let's save some of it and get onto some of those topics because they're quite interesting.
So topic number one for tonight, what we're going to go with?
Well, the first thing, obviously, it's time sensitive, is it's the 30th anniversary of a couple of shows, and that's Hocus Pocus and Jurassic Park. 30th anniversary of both of them. Hocus Pocus was obviously remade, and Jurassic Park has kind of went full circle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the less said about the trilogy. That
But I mean, Jurassic Park's on the reboot already.
Really?
Oh my god.
Really?
So,
It is.
It's
So-
been talked to be back in the works for another entire reboot.
Rebooting
What's the thoughts?
entirely, or still like those characters
They've
all
not-
exist? Like,
They've not quite said, so it's just your thoughts.
There was a really good script floating about that was, I think it was maybe supposed to be number 3, and it was about a marine going back to find the can from 1.
Right.
And he's stuck on the island, and then there's more mercenaries on that island. I think it was quite a cool idea.
is that the one that leads to, well, they had like even at storyboarding and stuff with the human dinosaur hybrids and stuff like that kind
Yeah.
of thing that they kind of ended up putting in Jurassic World with the genetic restructure of things, but didn't go
I've
full
seen that.
balls to the wall.
And I can imagine those characters. They've got my voice right now.
That bit I'm not.
they would sound.
That bit I'm not really into, the cross between humans and dinosaurs. I think that would be a bit much for me. I just want to see like the classics, like
For a
Tyrannosaur.
different film, totally. Like, see if there was
Yeah.
a different film, but it was like, oh, we've got a like, you know, this guy that's done this thing, genetics. I mean, there's the way they make the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. It makes sense. You could do it that way, but not with Jurassic Park. It was about the wonder and spectacle of dinosaurs. Now the genetic kind of thing was more of a backdrop to it. They don't. You know what I mean? I get what they're doing these days, but you needed a scarier dinosaur. I don't think that would happen in real life. I think 20 years after dinosaurs been about, people would still be like, fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah.
People are still like, fuck, tigers. Do you know what I mean? So people would still be...
Why is in Jurassic Park 1 still got some of the best CGI, better than half of the TV shows we've got now?
Effort.
Yeah.
Right, effort.
And Stan
a lot of
Winston.
time and effort, yeah.
Effort, knowing your craft. You see a lot of that. I was watching it recently, the T-Rex scene where it comes in, where it's like, you know, the T-Rex and the Jeeps kind of thing comes in. So atmospheric and it looks so real, but a lot of the know-how that put into that, the reason it's set in completely raining, like tropic, that is to hide a lot of the, do you know what I mean, the CGI and things like that. But it also had the added effect of making it look badass and scary because of this rain and coming off the dinosaur and giving it texture and all that kind of thing. They were really particular about what they'd done. And these days, it's like green screen, fucking lose a tennis ball, go there, and it just there's almost too much, no freedom, but too much kind of. We can just throw that together.
And see the start of Jurassic Park when you see like the rocks hitting off like the kind of ocean and stuff. That was like
The
torrential
rock, like
rain.
the-
That was filmed because there was an actual hurricane during filming, and Steven
right.
Spielberg just went out with his camera and was like, "I'm just catching some stuff."
I just pictured the actual rock, like Dwayne Johnson sitting there, like I'm in Jurassic Park now.
Hey, somebody in Hollywood just went Jurassic Park and The Rock. Let's make that movie.
That might happen, don't they?
You've now put that into the universe.
I know.
That's-
Or Jason Statham and Jurassic Park where he's fighting dinosaurs in a boxing ring.
The Meg comes with him.
Yeah,
The Meg's his pal now. Because that's how it goes in the Fast and Furious.
Meg and Jurassic Park are going to have a crossover. Oh, they will. No.
They almost did that with the second one, Meg. They had dinosaurs in that.
Yeah,
Which
for a little
was
bit.
bizarre. Did you see the Meg too?
yeah, I did.
The little dinosaur things,
Yeah.
like just weird. Where did that come from?
The Meg, I don't it was the Meg. I was like, you know, I just want to turn my brain off and watch Jason Statham punch a shark like last time. I wasn't too bothered about the like particulars. See, I always go on here about the particulars about a film, but there's a certain type of film where you can tell they're like, I'm not too bothered. Do you know what I mean? Like, but kind of bright with some films I've seen recently where it's like the logic just doesn't add up. I'm like, nah, that's just totally brought me out. Like, what was I saying? There was that one, I think I said it already, but Talk to Me. There was a thing that was maybe really good about the hand and stuff.
Don't spoil it. I'm desperate to see that.
Really?
I really want to see it.
I really want to know your opinion on it then, because I heard it been so good and I watched it and I was like, to me, this is not ruining it, it was a very heavy-handed metaphor the whole time. And it's just like, your metaphor doesn't really match up with reality, with it would be. But see what you think. I'd like to see.
Horror Specialist.
Yeah,
Have you seen it?
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely love it.
You loved it?
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I didn't see anything too heavy-handed in it.
Handed.
The hand was quite heavy. But yeah, I thought it was great. It was like, it's kind of quite a unique play on like a seance, like a Ouija board kind of thing. Only this time was the hand. The characters in it felt a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
But I think the story behind it, it's quite powerful. I don't want to spoil too much, but there's this girl in it that something happened in her past, and this hand helps her see something or hear or feel something.
I'm still peaked. I'm still
so
interested.
The story kind of grabs you with that, and there's a scene in it that I never expected to ever see that I saw involving this wee guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, and I had to look away. There's no that very often, especially with the job that I do.
Yeah.
Watching that scene, I'm like, oh, I'm looking away. And there's a bit, I'm not going to say it, but
I know. I'll still speak vaguely. Like I know,
very vague.
I know the scene you're talking about, and you know that is a hard going scene, right? And I'll pick my words very carefully. Maybe we'll see it after, but there's some point you said there about the thing that person gets to experience and that there was something interesting there. I didn't think it went far enough, and then the rest, it was a very, as I said, to me, heavy-handed metaphor, but it didn't quite, the jigsaw pieces didn't quite align. Do you know what I mean? I'll put it a different way. We'll go off into Gen V, right? So it's not ruining it for you.
I was just going to say, welcome to Geekified Vague Reviews.
yeah, exactly. So
we'll review films if it's
but we can't say shit about them. But like, no. So it's similar to my thoughts in a way of the first few episodes of Gen V that I've seen, where there was some things I really liked. I thought, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. That, and then I'm like, okay, I get it.
So where are you in Gen V just now?
Episode 3-ish.
I'm maybe on 4.
I'm on 1.
I've
seen 1.
I'm on 0. I don't think I'm going to watch it.
Anything I've got to say kind of pertains to the first episode, to be honest. It's not really, there's no really much happened, I could say, that really makes me want to be like that. And this is kind of what annoys me, is it is parts that I could like, and that because I like the world of The Boys, there's parts I'm like, oh, I want to know what's going on there, but I don't think I have it in me to sit through these characters to get there. Do you know what I mean?
I don't disagree with you with it. Like, I think it is very much like that. It doesn't have the hold that The Boys had with the characters, and I think some of them are a wee bit annoying.
So they're very annoying.
Is it separate?
No, it's the same world.
Same world,
yeah.
but it's kind of separate. You don't get a mention of Homeland.
No, you do.
Homeland,
You get all that
Queen
shit.
Maeve, they're all referred to, and they're all in comedy adverts and stuff like that. For the
Yeah.
whole
It's basically
works.
set.
It
But
works.
this is
It does
another
work.
thing, and I might stand corrected, because I actually think this did come from a Boys comic book. Like, I was looking at it, and there's a, but obviously done very different because the Boys comic book is different. But the place it's meant to take part, set at, is basically a school for, soups kind of thing, right? But to me, in the first, they make it very much like a high academy university, right? So it's very much like one of those shows. It kind of feels like Euphoria with superpowers, right? And it's like, and it's like, to me, but even in the first season, the soups are common, but not that common. Not that common enough that she even says in one of the first episodes in season 1 about, we have got 200 soups, blah, 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 over here. Now, that might just be 200 they've recruited, but it didn't make it sound like there was thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Like, and to have universities that just cater to soups, you would need to have absolute thousands and thousands of soups. Do you know what I mean? And just the logistics. I was like, I don't know. But I think in the comic books, it's more of a just training group for
I
soups.
think it is. I think in the comic book it is.
And they make it in here because they want teen drama kind of thing. They make it university, but it's super. And I'm like, I don't think there's enough of them to make.
Did I share my story last week with you?
I don't know.
About
I think
Gen
I
V?
said not to because we hadn't seen it. Maybe if it's
Yeah,
about Gen V.
it's
Oh
a-
yeah, you did about on the plane.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, I watched that. I watched your video.
Yeah.
But did you notice? This isn't a spoiler if you've not seen it, but did you notice the Terminator reference in this first episode?
No, missed it.
No. Arnold Schwarzenegger's son is in it, and he's naked and he's walking down the campus naked like
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger did in the Terminator.
Is that
That's Patrick Schwarzenegger.
is the dude that is Golden Boy? Is that Arnold Schwarzenegger's son?
Yeah, Patrick.
Oh.
So when I saw him
It's-
naked and just looking like his dad, walking down naked, I'm like, this is just like the Terminator.
Arnold Schwarzenegger must be pissed at his son because he does not look built wise at all like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, his other son.
yeah, I thought I'd
jacked
seen
up,
one before that looked like
And isn't his daughter married to Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
Pratt,
Yeah.
the nepotism all involved that just annoys me because see the thing that annoys me is this is another thing. See when I was watching that character, a Golden Boy, right? I was thinking this perfect pristine, like the way that everybody loves, this chick loves his. It's like the dude really ain't that much. I like he doesn't really come across to me as somebody that'd be like
He
that.
was quite handsome.
No,
myself.
I didn't. And I'm like, he's got a fucking weak chin. He's got fucking a bad body. He's got a fucking.
His dad's not got a weak chin, innit?
No, but like that's what I'm saying. I was like, but this annoys me because he obviously got the part because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. How many people went for that part that had jaw, abs, shoulders, things, and could have done that part well better, but because he's Schwarzenegger's son, he gets the part when he's clearly never seen the inside of a gym. He's tall, good for him, and he's got a weak ass chin and shit. That's one of the things that honestly when I was watching it, freaking.
That's probably the script. Must have a weak ass chin.
But he was playing a character that wouldn't. He was meant to be the most like the dude off campus.
Did
Right?
any other auditionees have a dick that was on fire though? That's what you have to.
That is not the one guy in The Boys did. There's a scene that I actually seen by rewatching The
sausage.
Boys. But it's the same scene.
Yeah.
But there's a guy walking and his dick's just on fire, right? And he just walks by the screen. But I was like, I had to rewind it a few times because I was like,
bet you did.
To take notes.
But I was like, that guy, that's real fire. That's not CGI. I was like, that's more of the 80s kind of put a lot of like, the stuff on in it. Because I was like, that's real flickering fire. Because I said to the girls, look at this. I was like, that guy's really walking with his dick on fire.
Was there
Like,
not a character that shrunk and went in somebody's?
oh, yeah. That was, yeah.
That was a nuts episode. That
That
one.
was
Yeah.
very, very weird. And speaking of weird chins, anybody seen the trailer for Iron Claw?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Zac Efron's movie's about the Von Erichs.
That's my most
wrestling.
anticipated movie of the year.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It's got the wee guy from is it Jeremy Allen? From
How it looks like
The Bear?
Gene Wilder.
He's in,
Oh, yeah,
he's in the Bear.
Yeah.
Eyes in the Bear, yeah.
Aye.
The
Is it-
Bear's a
is it
great
Jeremy?
show.
He's a chef or something.
Yeah,
that's him. Yeah.
Bear's a great show.
He plays Texas Tornado. in
Yeah.
this.
Texas Tornado, nice reference.
I just thought
that's-
Zac
That's who he is.
Is that no everybody knows him as? No. Is it Kerry? He's Kerry.
The Kerry Von Erich.
Yeah, and then Zac Efron plays. I don't know if it was the older brother. But
I'm sure he plays.
there's four brothers, isn't there?
Yeah,
I don't know much about the story of them.
I don't know
altogether,
much.
yeah.
Von
Which
Erichs
is
is a
good, I don't know.
dynasty. in
I
wrestling.
know that I kind of know a wee bit about like the
Yeah.
legacy that they have.
I've heard of the
Yeah,
Von Erichs as well, but I don't know much.
it's that period of time, and I think it's maybe like the 80s and 70s that like wrestling was just like carnival. You know what I mean? It was just like carnies, and there was just a lot of
Yeah.
backstabbing and stuff like that. So it could be very interesting.
Oh,
They
is this
just-
what the wrestlers were talking about?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's maybe where I've heard that before then, because I was going off on some things. 'Cause we were talking before about like what we're going to do about the DX thing. I was speaking to somebody and I had to end up like we're watching a clip thing about DX, showing about how DX came up and what this kind of things had done and all that. Apparently, there's this whole thing on Disney, these documentary episodes about like behind the mat.
Is
or
it
something
Disney or
like
is
that.
it Netflix or
I think it's
one
I
of them?
don't know. It's one of them. I think it's Disney, but I really need to watch it because I used to love Beyond the Mat when I was younger, finding all the stuff behind the wrestling and all that.
Beyond the
It was-
Mat's like peak.
Oh yeah, that was.
If anybody who's not into wrestling, they'll love it. Like it's just so
Aye.
so good. Owen Hart one broke my heart.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No, because he broke his neck and he's like, man, like, that was some messed up stuff that went on. That's what I was explaining to even this girl there. I was like, it was a time with like the Monday Night Wars and stuff where real life intersected with the play they're putting on. Do you know what I mean? Where like they are really outside WCW's studio, we're in a tank going fucking give it, blah blah. WCW sucks and that, but there's also the play where they're making it. It's DX, Triple H doing that, but it's like it kind of intersected in this weird reality mishmash of the whatever they were doing. It was cool.
The guys at WCW said we made a huge mistake not letting them in. Could you imagine the ratings we would have got?
I know exactly.
Like they made a massive error there. Plus, what would they have done if they got through that barricade?
They
They're probably
come in
like,
and- yeah.
shit, we didn't plan for this.
Yeah, no, they
What do we do now?
gave a lot of slugs, but maybe an impromptu wrestling match could have happened. Because a lot of the wrestling matches, it isn't planned. It's not as if they've got a script completely of I do this, I do that. There's spots that they make. Do you know what I mean? I need to get this hit off the top rope, you do your finishing move, blah, blah. But the rest of it's a lot of improvisation. So they were the biggest stars at the time. They could have probably jumped in and been like, let's fuck it, improvise some punches, some things, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, they would
Would have been
have
fun.
been.
Would have been great for us as the viewers.
Oh, 100%.
There's a good movie that kind of shows that, The Wrestler.
Oh,
with
yes.
yeah.
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. aye,
Marissa Tomei. Is it a good
It's
one?
Marissa Tomei in that, eh?
Marissa Tomei, yes, she
Yeah,
is in
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
I need to rewatch that. But yeah, that kind of portrays life as a wrestler properly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that kind of looks like the Iron Claw.
Yeah.
But Iron Claw is going to be a real life story.
Yeah.
So yeah, that looks good. Did you see the bit in the motorbike?
Yeah.
He's on. See, as soon as I seen him on the motorbike, I'm like, oh, I'm going to cry at that bit. I know I'm going to cry at that bit. If you know what I'm talking about, I don't know if you know.
No,
what
I
I'm
don't yet, but I'll look out for it.
It looks like Zac Efron's chin has been on steroids.
But do you know what happened?
Zac Efron has been on growth hormone and
No,
steroids
no,
and
no.
everything.
Do you know what happened to him?
I was this surgery or something. Was it?
He was in his living room and he slipped, and this is what he says. I believe him. He slipped and he banged his chin off his fireplace. And he broke his jaw, and he had to get reconstructive surgery.
See, after watching The Boys for 2 seasons, realising that Hollywood's the same, that like he's been on growth hormone.
Well-
like growth hormone makes your hand, your jaw, and all that go out to a certain, but it also rips you up to a certain it doesn't have the water weight kind of thing that comes with steroids, and you can rip up a lot of different ways. You look at Brock Lesnar, fucking chin, jaw goes at that hands. He's probably been on growth hormone. And like, how the fuck do we?
What drugs is that? Because I think my chin could do
Like,
really
but you also get clown
don't even have a
feet, growth hormone. But there's, I don't know. To be honest, I'm kidding. I'm
Patrick
talking-
Schwarzenegger could use that.
Exactly. His dad's like, listen, you need to get on the growth hormone. Like, put the cookies down.
Is he Jamaican?
Maybe I don't know. That's my whole sport.
I'll be back, man. I'll be back, man.
That'd be a pretty cool like other world guy, a Jamaican fucking Terminator. Like you think he's so chill, but he's not. He just doesn't have a feeling of him.
Just getting a shotgun, go, hey man, 2 minutes, man.
Hey, pass the talk, eh?
In fact, I think the place that John Connor got shot in the most
Oh,
recent
yeah.
trailer, it looks like that
that
character.
was-
Could have sat and do that.
I put it off literally
After that,
yeah.
no, I don't want to watch a film where they do that. Fuck you guys. Fuck that, man. Like,
So where do we go with that though? You know what I mean? It's like what sort of story?
well,
is it?
apparently it's a human Arnold Schwarzenegger who's fucking grown feelings over the years. What the fuck is that all about?
That's it. I think like what angle do you go down now? Like on the basis of if you want to continue Terminator,
Needs to be a
continue-
remake.
Yeah.
A reboot, remake. You don't continue on for story through what's happened and try and fix what happened. It's just a case of forget it.
But
I
similar to
start
what we
again.
were saying with the Halloween franchise as well, the Laurie Strode saga's over. Now time to do something completely different.
I think with Terminator especially, the closest thing they ever done, and I know I'm so annoyed this film bombed because there was a lot of good in it, is Terminator Salvation.
Salvation was a great movie.
I liked it too.
that,
There was
yeah.
bits, I kind of fell off when they tried to lean too much into, what was that guy's name? There's no Jai Courtney.
Sam Worthington.
The two of them were the exact same, but Jai Courtney and Sam Worthington were very kind of interplaceable. But lean more in Christian Bale's John Connor and have that after the war kind of thing. That would have been cool. Then you don't need, you could have look, there's an Arnie Terminator, but you don't need Arnie going back again, trying to remix Terminator 2
I still
and
thought that
whatnot.
scene looked okay. You know how it was like CG.
Yeah, see
or-
when that happened in the cinema. Our cinema erupted.
Yeah.
And in Glasgow, that doesn't happen as well.
I still thought it looked
I thought it
great.
looked pretty good. It's 2009 as well. so
Yeah.
the CGI was decent.
That film was surrounded by Bale's rant.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Aye,
Like,
aye.
that
Behind the scenes.
I actually heard that at the time. It was like, okay, he sounds like a dick here, but I don't completely disagree with the guy. Like, if you're trying to do, you're trying to do a scene, somebody keeps fucking up, you're in a multi-pound set, and you're there. I've been in plays before. You could probably fuck up. Be like, why? Like, I'm trying to do this. What the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Never mind a huge film where you're like, you know what? You shouldn't be here if you can't fucking do it. I wasn't that mad at him. I thought it was funny because he
I'm
sounded
sorry,
a
like,
bit
if you're in the same room and Christian Bale's acting, you're going to be sitting with a cup of coffee going,
Yeah.
yeah, like you should be on
Or
point.
some lube.
I would actually, because I love American Psycho, I'd be like, aye, please shout at me, date with a stern voice, or I'll tell you you're going to pick
Honestly,
up
though,
videotapes.
going from the John Connor we had in Terminator Judgment Day, Edward Furlong version, it's so interesting seeing him go from that to Bale. Because that's exactly what would happen. He would be that kind of guy.
yeah.
We had
And they
Nick
nailed
Stahl
it.
in between.
And then we,
What?
Nick Stahl was in between.
Oh, yeah, God.
Rise of the
Remember Nick
Machines?
Stahl?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, on rewatch, there's bits of that film I was like, isn't as bad. Like the ending in that was quite a ballsy, but the whole Arnie and Elton John shades and all that, talk to the hand, and all
Talk to
that.
the hand.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
I love that scene.
I hated that so much because Terminator 2 is my favorite. I watched it as a 2-year-old, 3-year-old. It's my I watched before bed, and then seeing like
You watched it as a 3-year-old?
yeah, I watched the real young
back
man.
in time.
I was in Birmingham. No, I was. It was out in 1991, and I was born in 1988. So honestly, it was one of the earliest films I used to watch. It was mine because I used to like basically cry as a toddler for my uncle who to put it on. We lived in Birmingham with my aunt and mum and that, and he would be like, "Can we watch that?" And I'd be like, "Put Terminator on." It was like, honestly, it was like,
You're just like that. Like,
it was my thing.
Pacifier.
Honestly, it was my thing. Like people like their cartoons and shit. I was Terminator 2 for like a very young age.
That's understandable.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I was the same.
yeah.
Right, so like so literally about 3 years old, whenever I was watching Terminator 2, maybe 4 it came out in VHS or Betamax. It was in Birmingham when I was staying there, but about that age. Where, so to see him go and talk to the hand and be a little bitch, you know, oh no man,
It was the one story that I quite liked the concept. Like they gave up on John, gave up hunting John, so we decided to hunt the generals instead.
Yeah.
I quite that the idea of it. I thought
That's what I'm saying, and the whole thing about
absolutely
the I know this is another word, the nuclear how it happened, right? Like, and it happened and you've lost kind of thing was interesting because then where do you go from there? It has to be that warrior. It has to be this. Not a great casting for it, but it was an interesting.
They always jump the shark at the end, don't they? It's like when they try to do things, like they get it so right, and it gets to the end of the movie, and they just fucking go a bit tonto with it, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, you've not seen Saw X yet, but like that I keep that in mind for when you're watching Saw
shit,
It.
right,
Like,
okay. I'm probably going to watch it tonight.
We'll
Yeah,
watch
we
it
did
tonight.
that as well.
Yeah.
I'm interested, I think, because it was it is it's good. Some parts, but
Saw is, I believe, out of the Horror World Cup, isn't it? Oh, is it?
Yeah,
it's out.
I think it went out the
Saw is
first
actually
round.
out of the Horror
I
World
think it
Cup.
might
That's
be.
your favourite.
It's one of my favourite franchises. Yeah, the other one's still in. The other one is still there, which I will murder every
Scream?
one of you at the table.
To be honest, take
You tried. you fucking tried to vote it.
Take Terrifier 2 out of the list that's left, and that's all my favourite horror movies. Alien, The Thing, Halloween.
You're going to
Scream.
have a nervous breakdown for the
I
next
am.
vote.
I am.
I rewatched Terrifier 1 and 2 last night to see it, and I was watching Terrifier 2 and I'm like, did I really pick this over Aliens? But I'm like, then I'm watching parts and I'm like, yeah, I did, because Aliens, I do love Aliens infinitely more.
Yeah.
But as like, this is a proper Halloween movie. Do you know what I mean? It's a proper Halloween horror film that you can.
Barry was raging at us.
No, I wasn't. Like, I can understand why you chose Terrifier because it's a horror, but I thought, don't put aliens in it.
I know.
If you're
That
not
was
going to
the-
do
that was
it.
our fuck up.
Yeah, I remember.
'Cause
Who done it? 'Cause I think I picked Alien. I don't know if I
I
picked
checked
Aliens.
both our lists, and both our lists didn't have aliens on it, so it must have been one of the IMDb ones or
Yeah.
Rotten Tomato ones.
Yeah, there was a selection of the top 10 that I did for off of like IMDb and top horror movies to watch at Halloween.
Yeah.
And I chucked them all in. I think Aliens was one of them, unless I just made it plural and did it twice.
Well, that's why it's out, because we all love it.
Yeah.
We all agree that it's one of the best movies ever made. It's just not
Action.
technically a horror movie. Still got a lot of scary shit in it though. Like,
100%. No,
lot.
yeah.
See
Like
that Queen?
Mm-hmm.
You see that's scary as hell.
It is the creature affected to this day. It's so much better than any kind of CGI running about. Because even with CGI with the aliens these days, they really seem to miss the mechanical biology of it that you got in the
Because
first
there's not a
and
guy
second
in a
one.
suit.
Yeah, but even when H.I. Geiger designed it, it was very biomechanical. It's got like tubes coming off it and that basically. Do you know what I mean? It looks
Yeah.
otherworldly in a sense that you can't really put. When they make it these days, they make very much a creature with claws and just like
Yeah.
skittles about and that, and you're like, no, it's not meant to be. I think, by the way, I remember always thinking this, or reading this, sorry, years ago, H. Geiger was mad by the time Aliens was out, because he was commenting saying they made my like ultimate monster of death into cannon fodder. I still love Aliens, but you can kind of see what he means. Do you know what I mean? He made this thing. But these days, with like Alien Covenant and that, when it's just a CGI blob, it could
Yeah.
be any other alien in any other film. And I watched Alien the other day and I'm like, no, there's even a bit where it moves like a ghost kind of goes like that through it. There's a creepiness with it that I wish we kind of still had with it.
See that scene where it's in the chains and Harry Dean Stanton's trying to look for the cat, and you get to see the cat's reaction. It just cuts to the cat. It's so terrifying because you can hear what's happening, but you're also like, this is creepy as fuck. But just the way that whole scene was built up, suspense. They didn't just go straight in with a jump scare. They let it build. He was looking for the cat for at least like a couple of minutes, and then you kind of see it up in the chains, but you're like, you get a slight glimpse of it.
That's something I think they done really well. I thought this as a boy, and I've actually been trying to rewatch this in Aliens, and I'm not entirely sure. Maybe you can help me out here. But they definitely think doing Alien 1, right? And it's round about the end, where Ripley thinks she's away, and all that. And the way they've got it filming and stuff is the alien is in shot, like it is hidden up in shot. You don't notice it until it reveals itself. And you go, "Fuck."
Because it's the long head that sits down.
Yeah. I think they done that in Aliens again, where when the Marines are going about going, where is it? And they are there in shot, like you just can't see them. In a rewatch, I was trying to go, I was pausing and going, are they there? And I was like, I don't know if they are or not, but it's a nice thought, you know what I mean? Because like they could be that camouflage way in.
Yeah.
Do you know who's really, really good at doing shots like that? Is Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan's work from House of Haunting Hill, Haunting of Bly Manor, and Midnight Club and Midnight Mass. He's really, really good at keeping the monster or ghost or whatever it is in the back. Let me hear go. Keeping the ghost in the back and just hitting it really subtly. And then you get the shot, and then the shot comes back after going to the other person, and then it just moves ever so slightly.
You just
I
need to
only
watch
watched
the
it
House of
if you
Usher,
want.
man. The House of
Throat's all
Usher is so good.
It doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't help.
Doesn't help at all. No.
Did you watch the Fall of the House of Usher, Barry?
I've not seen any Mike Flanagan show.
Really?
No, I've seen his movies, but I've not seen. I've seen Gerald's Game.
Yeah.
And I've seen Hush,
Doctor Sleep as
Right.
well.
Doctor Sleep. But
Hush
I've not-
was
I've
one of my
not-
favourites,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
That's
it's
such a
Midnight
good
Mass.
See, Hush is a rip-off, so
Hush.
Who's Hush a
is
rip-off
that?
of?
Mischief Night.
Right, okay.
It's a girl.
'Cause I've not seen Hush,
Oh,
so
right.
so I want to watch it. So I'd like to know what.
let's watch
Mischief
both of
Night came out 3 years before it, and it's about a girl who's blind, and she's in the house herself on Halloween night, and she even uses the same things like the smoke alarm and stuff like that goes off. And there's a guy after her from the outside. She's in the house herself, and it's the exact same situation. And then 3 years later, Hush came out. I'm like, that's just the same movie, but it's the senses have changed. And it's,
Was
Yeah.
it like a complete rip-off? You think, like Abs?
absolutely. huh?
Wow.
But still a good movie, right?
But I said it was a rip-off online, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
And Mike Flanagan's wife tweeted me back,
Yeah, Kate
saying like
Siegel.
basically moaning at me. I'm kind of like, I'm sorry, I love you, but I'm sorry, I take it back. I tried to take it back, but I couldn't.
She's the best. Like,
Awesome, man. She's
Yeah.
even
Kate Siegel.
better in the House of Usher.
She's so good. Every role she gets, especially Mike Flanagan. Obviously, she's going to get good parts, but she's an amazing actress. She's so good.
So who's she in it then? Like Mike Flanagan's wife? Who's she?
She is in Midnight Mass. She's the main girl, the main woman.
All right,
You know,
okay.
there's a couple. The guy goes off on the boat and takes her out with her.
Yeah, no, I loved Midnight Mass. I did, to be honest, like a lot of things, want a wee bit more by the end, but like it was, but I did still really enjoy it. But what was I going to say there? Someone told it in my head, but if it was something about Halloween, somebody else take over. I don't know. I was going to say
Midnight
something.
Mass was one of my favourites. I thought it was just an absolute
need to check that out.
masterpiece.
Midnight Mass
So
was
good.
awesome. I
I
really
still,
liked it.
so it did. I like horror movies. I like ghosty stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the one that always always gets me is ghost stuff. I'm not. It always makes me shit myself. Like genuinely, like I'm not good. It's lights on. Fucking making sure everything's on because I do genuinely shit myself.
I haven't been terrified of a horror movie since I was like
No.
6.
This is where I agree. I disagree.
16.
So I'm always looking for a film that's generally going to make me scared, right?
Yeah.
I've felt it a few times. I can't even, but like when it's that, oh god. if it was going to be anything, it's probably going to be a Ghost Town, because I have a thing where it's like, I like a horror that you can hit. If it's a physical being and you think you can hit it or shoot it or hit it with a baseball bat, I feel in my head a bit more I've got a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's a ghost, it's something
that's
it's
why
like,
it terrifies me. That's why I was going to say, sorry, like the Haunting of Hill House, his first Netflix one.
Yeah.
It took me probably 6 months to complete it.
Wow.
'Cause
I heard that's the best one.
Yeah, it is.
So,
I'd say it still is for me.
Midnight Mass and House of Usher are right rubbing up against
But
Midnight
it took
Mass
me
for
6 months because it was so scary, ghosty scary.
Yeah.
I kept
Nah,
on. I watched the episode.
I
and was
don't
like,
find
fuck, I'm
that
done.
stuff scary at all.
Well,
I've had a lot of
I do.
paranormal experiences
Fully done
in
right,
my life.
Big strong man.
it has been done right though. No, because this is the thing is with Ghost thing as well. As much as I like it when it'll scare me, I find myself not picking it when I go to watch something, because 9 times out of 10 it's done shit. It's just fucking a jump scare here, a wee face in the background here. When it's really done, when I'm like, oh, you made me feel like I don't want to go to bed. It's a thing that will scare me, but I don't get it enough. I would rather sit and have a creature feature that I'm going to enjoy and be like, oh, look at that, than something that's trying to scare me and it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Which I feel for most stuff, but I really want that thing that's going to scare me.
Do you know what really scares me just now? The direction that Marvel's going in.
Yeah, well, and also the like, but I mean, I kind of like that they're throwing the towel in a bit with stuff like Daredevil and that, and being like, we need to. They've done a whole firing and they're restructuring it all. We'll see, all right? Obviously, it depends what they decide to do with it, but that to me is a good sign. See what I've been saying from the beginning of this podcast when I've said I hope they fail, so that they need to go. But we need to
It's literally on it. So it's arse. Marvel's currently on its arse. It's not doing very well at all.
They've bombed. Imagine the films. Imagine a few years ago saying that these films were billion, but are bombing now. Like, have nothing like the Miss Marvel and all that, or the Marvels. Sorry, they don't even know if they're going to release. They might just like it's.
What's
really bad.
mental is they've made superhero movies so popular to the masses now, and then everybody else is just fed up of it.
Yeah.
And then the people that are into these movies are now like, I'm too confused what's going on. I need to watch this, I need to watch that, I need to watch this.
Yeah.
Listen,
And,
I tell you,
like,
I don't know if I said these last time. I said to somebody recently, I was like, we'll watch Guardians 3. And I was like, you like it, the thing with the animals,
so you said
blah,
that
blah,
last
blah.
week,
Yeah, and then can't. Because it was like, oh yeah, actually, you need to watch the Christmas, you need to watch this, you need to watch that, blah, blah, blah. How does a normal person like go along with that?
Yeah, so I was going to go into the fact that Loki's on episode 3,
I think four tomorrow, yeah.
I think I've seen 2 or 3, I don't know. Like,
Yeah. So I'm going to give it a hot take, like, because I know everyone enjoys Loki. I think it's absolute garbage just now.
I'm not saying that.
Do you?
Yeah.
No.
Just
This is-
I've
been enjoying it.
I've not got anything from it. I think it's well shot, it's well executed, it looks the part, it's filmed amazing. It's got that really Stanley Kubrick look about it, the way the whole filmic look that it's done. But there's no story, there's no nothing scary. Victor Timely is an absolute wet wipe in it. Like, I'm just not getting anything from it at all.
But is he not like they were saying in the last episode? This is him before he becomes
yeah,
Kang.
I get that, but there
I've
still
not
should
seen
be
that
something
yet.
there.
Is that so? That's
Victor
right,
Timely is the
Victor
guy you've seen in the end credit scenes of Ant-Man. End credit
Was it
scenes.
the original the guy that becomes Kang. Is that
Yeah,
like the
so you're
scientist?
obviously
that-
we're going to see lots more of his variants.
Yeah.
in it.
So they're two different characters then? Sorry, they're the same character?
Same character, different a
Yeah.
variant of the
Right,
character.
I don't know. I thought they were. I thought he was playing two different roles.
But there's plenty to go into with that. That's what I'm interested in. How his development from that to Kang.
Yeah,
That-
it's just
that
not.
is-
But it's the story is not. Nothing's grabbing.
I agree with that. I've
Nothing's
actually
grabbing me at all.
been in the way watching it. Maybe it's because I've tried to be more forgiving of things recently because I'm sick of just hating everything, so I'm trying to be more forgiving. But I've enjoyed the episode of what I've never really felt like, oh, I need to see the next one. Yeah. Seeing something like that would interest me, Victor Timely with the whole thing. But it's kind of what I felt last time watching Loki. I remember watching the beginning episodes and being like, what you said, there's a bit they can go into that could be really interesting. If they approach this could be really interesting. Time travel, variant. And I just felt like blue balled at the end of it, just like there's nothing there that got it.
So
And I
almost
feel
started to
tonight
feel
that
like Doctor Who a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah,
That's
it
my
does.
only complaint, but that's maybe a good
'Cause
thing.
the
I think if it felt more like Doctor Who, it'd be better, to be honest.
The point I was making is because we were in a certain store which we absolutely loved called,
Yes.
called Geekaboo. We were in there for about bloody half an hour before we even decided to pick anything.
Yeah.
But we got.
I almost bought something.
You're going to have to do this because I'm going to cough.
Oh. So we did talk about this earlier on. We've got a little mug from
Oh, nice.
Jurassic Park.
So you'll notice we
T-Rex
did
monk.
bring the game a little bit down because we don't want to keep peaking with all these big amazing things that we're bringing in. So we just brought a couple of items that we both kind of liked from Geekaboo.
We've had two very good
Yeah,
items
super
from
items.
them. Like,
But
oh,
Does that go all the way into the mouth?
yeah.
Ooh,
That's a big
that's a
mug.
big cup.
It's a big cup.
That's a big cup.
Look at that.
so the reason I was saying that is because we went in and obviously I knew we were going to talk a little bit about Loki, and there was no Loki stuff. There was nothing about Loki.
All right. Okay.
So I don't know if Geekaboo couldn't get anything or if it's not a popular toy.
Yeah, there was nothing.
There was nothing Loki.
I think right
very,
now-
very minimal stuff.
I don't know.
They
Things
got
are-
Marvel Legends.
There was Marvel Legends stuff, but I don't think there was any Loki stuff in that. Yeah.
And Barry, we got this one because we knew you were coming on, and we
Oh,
saw it. And actually, when we
Did
took
you
it to
see
the
it?
counter, they said, "This has just come in today." So it was just absolutely
Yeah,
perfect.
We had
See
to
it.
show it.
Let's see it. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Oh, the Back to the Future
This is
card,
the hat
right
for the
there.
Back to the Future. That had just come in literally today,
That's
and
it.
we were like,
Can I hold it?
Barry, for anybody watching, is a huge Back to the Future fan. So we thought,
Oh.
That is
Actually
actually
cool.
cool. I like
So
that.
cool.
I'd wear that. I'd actually wear that. I'd just wear that.
we'll take 4, please.
That's only, what is it? Only 17 quid? I can get
That's
one of them.
actually
They had this Batman lamp that was like a lamp, but it was like the Nightwing.
Yeah.
Like
That's
the
it.
plane that shot the light out.
Ah.
I thought, I'm definitely buying
Potentially might bring that in next week.
See when
There we go.
before that came out as a licensed item, people were making them
that. Oh, really?
and they were selling for like $200 and stuff like that when they first came
Yeah,
out.
something with the shoes and all that kind of thing as well. Which are
Yeah,
the
the
skateboard with and that. But
It's really good though, isn't it? Like,
yeah, that's cool.
But the quality is insane, absolutely insane. But it says they've just got them in, so there's quite a few sitting there. So if anybody is kicking about near Geekaboo and you want one, get one for Christmas.
Yeah.
Get rid of Back to
$16.99.
the Future fan.
That's a perfect gift for Christmas.
Yeah, it's a good
No,
gift, but no.
I actually might get. I think I'm going to might get one for myself. Genuinely, I
You
like
need to get
that.
one of the jackets so you touch and it goes.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the hoverboard. They're almost there. So yeah, thank you again. I'm going to put that up there so that we can kind of see it.
Yeah.
There we are.
But yeah, and obviously we picked up Jurassic Park. There wasn't a huge amount of Jurassic Park stuff.
We-
But
we
obviously 'cause
struggled.
it's not super relevant anymore, but it is the 30th anniversary. So that's why we went for them. But
Yeah,
the
we-
hat was a screamer for us when we seen it. We're like, fuck.
Yeah. We were trying to think of something that was relevant that we were going to talk about, and then we were like, we're going to go out of horror now, so it's kind of.
Jurassic Park could be horror. It should be
Oh,
if you
it
went with the
is.
original
Yeah.
book.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
horror
like,
scary.
there's, I've still never read the full book. I've got it. I've bought it. I've got it in Audible. I've never read. I've never listened or read to it. But
The
yeah,
Spitty,
it's a lot more
the
messed
Spitty
up.
dinosaur terrified me as a kid.
Yeah.
that-
I heard there's a bit in the book with the Carnotaur or something like that that apparently is terrifying too. And it's a really horror part. Like, so yeah, if we're going to reboot Jurassic Park, do it as an 18 and reboot it as an absolute horror that go from the book and be.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Never happened though.
Oh,
Because the
definitely.
toys.
You know what? Yeah, the toys. But Deadpool proved you can have an 18 that does well overall thing.
Yeah.
When we're in the steep decline of things like Marvel and all that, now with the, the whole kind of riding away for a thing, going like, that was a close one, huh? Like that, or that kind of jokey, shitty thing people are kind of sick of. If there's going to be an absolute kind of breakdown of things with Disney and Marvel and that to build them back up, we might end up getting shots in the dark at 18 versions of things and stuff. We might.
What I
we-
would,
sorry.
what I would do with Jurassic Park is I would have it be a sequel to the first one, like they do with all the franchise. I'm just tapping into that.
A requel.
But have the park just rotten, like they kind of teased in Jurassic World. It just didn't look like the same park to me. But have like people be like 'cause dinosaurs. It would get out in the news. People would want to go to this island, no matter if it was forbidden or not. Have just people going on the island just getting fucked up by dinosaurs. That would be an amazing movie.
If we're going to reboot it, should just start with Chris Pratt versus every dinosaur. Just
Yeah.
like see him get an absolute doing because he always wins in all his movies. Like, he always wins.
I was waiting for those raptors to just tear him apart.
No, it's just
Yeah,
kinda-
no, that's a big. I like Chris Pratt, and I really like his kind of acting. That is, I do. I find him kind of likable. But the whole thing with the Raptors pissed me the shit off because it's like the fucking Raptors. I get what you're trying to do, the whole we're building up for the beginning, but no, the Raptors, they would eat you.
I just
so
want to see him get a doing. It's the same as
Yeah.
The Rock. I am desperate to see The Rock get an absolute.
I'm much more
tanking
desperate to
off
see
of somebody.
the Rock get a do.
Just get an
Maybe
absolute
off
tanking.
Chris Pratt. That'd
No,
be
but
good. But
anyway,
but like I The Rock 100%. But I'm not a bit. You see Chris Pratt get a doing a lot in the Guardians. He's not really like or like Avengers, whatever. He's not really like he's not always winning every fight. That's why I can't like him. He's just kind of like always scraping by kind of thing, like just winning. He just done have Gamora all the fucking time because
Hey, that's enough to talk about that. that was a
I was more thinking of the MCU kind of thing, but more of the kind of like well, hopefully.
Aye, but like even just have it play up to like A Quiet Place almost. You know, The Quiet Place is the only film that's totally surprised me, and that cinematic experience where everybody was just so quiet watching it, and the whole audience were in suspense the whole time. They were on the edge of their seat. That's the most unique experience I've had in a cinema.
No, I love The Quiet Place. The Quiet Place too. I always like knowing what happens when the world falls apart. That's always. But The Quiet Place 2 wasn't as good. But I did like the scenes where it's like, oh, this is how it started. Mention The Quiet Place once. So not in the same vein, but have any of you seen the film? I think I mentioned it last time. You've seen it yet? The UFO one. You can.
No One Will Save
No
You.
One Will Save You. Yeah.
No One Will Save You. Have you seen it? Yeah. So that has a similar thing to The Quiet Place, but kind of done to the extreme where there's no dialogue at all. And I was watching.
I need a la 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 because I'm going to watch it at some point.
Right, okay, right. But I don't. Okay, I'll not say any more than that. But it has. You know that thing with the Quiet Place. But I guess we'll wait for another thing to speak about it because I don't know if it was too much or not. Do you know what I mean? I felt there was bits where The Quiet Place made sense with it. Well, this was.
I think that this film was intentionally didn't make sense at the end.
Yeah.
Is all I can say.
Yeah, go watch it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Bring that suspense into the Jurassic Park thing. I think would be awesome.
That kind of worked, by the way. I couldn't hear you.
I mean, if
fat fingers.
if you were doing a dinosaur that had like some dinosaurs with impeccable hearing, do you know what I mean? They need to get away from that kind of make a noise. That could be kind of cool.
I just maybe mean not necessarily have it been like people having to be really quiet, just that atmosphere. I would love. I want it to go back to being creepy.
Yeah.
Because the first film is like a hybrid. That's a very Steven Spielberg-esque movie. You've got that Amblin quality. It's a family-friendly movie, but then it's got some dark stuff. Sam Jackson's hand, like the arm, the raptor totally like
it's
destroying
definitely
somebody in the
horror-esque,
opening
yeah.
scene.
Yeah, no,
Like-
it's got horror elements, really,
Yeah.
but like proper horror elements that I think The Lost World's got as well. I love the Lost World. I don't know the hate on it. I love The Lost World.
Yeah.
But Jurassic Park 3 doesn't have that to me. It's too jokey, too many ridiculous things. I remember watching the cinema and couldn't get into it. I don't really remember another Jurassic Park that really has. So I was trying to move that because it was right to be a Chris. I was trying to get it. But yeah, I don't know. A remake Jurassic Park with. Is it 18?
And genuine thoughts and prayers with Sam Neill. Sam Neill's having a bit of a hard time with cancer just now.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know that.
He's going for treatment and stuff. So obviously,
That's a shame.
absolute legend of an actor. I hope he pulls through.
We were talking about him when we went to see. Did we go see it at the cinema?
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. We were talking about Sam Neill's impressive Irish accent and Peaky Blinders.
And
How absolutely spot on it was.
And then I told you he is Irish in real life.
I was going to say, see when you were saying that, I was like, he better have because he's Irish.
I thought he was from New Zealand. That's where I got confused.
Yeah, so he's basically he was born in Ireland. He moved to New Zealand when he was 7, I think it was. Grew
He's
up there.
basically from New Zealand.
No,
then.
but my daughter's 8 and she speaks proper Scottish.
Aye.
So he would have been speaking proper Northern Irish.
True.
And then he's obviously lost it over time and then went over to America or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's got a bit of everything in him.
Aye, that's true.
So that's why he can do a good Irish accent, because he's Irish.
Well, that helps.
He's the only one in Peaky Blinders that did the Irish accent, because there was a couple of guys trying to do
Yeah.
The Glasgow Boys, wasn't it?
Oh
Oh,
god.
I've not seen that yet.
Billy
No, 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 no.
Billy
I'm
Boys.
on season. I've just finished season 4.
Oh, it's not a spoiler. We're just
Yeah.
in
Oh,
it.
I know there's Glasgow people in it, so I need to
But
check it
it's,
out.
But it's always
the
so
accent
bad.
is
See,
so bad.
Are they not
so
from
many
Glasgow? I
awesome
take it?
Scottish
No.
actors.
Oh, Irish boys.
All right.
Scottish accents are never done well. Even by the people who are the best actors in the world, are never done well. I have never heard a Scottish accent done by somebody that's not Scottish that I've went,
Chris Pine.
I've
Oh,
not seen
can't
you were
think
saying
where.
Outlaw King. You said that.
Yeah.
and what?
Outlaw King. One of
not
the
seen
most flawless Scottish accents I've ever
Really?
heard.
Okay,
I'll need to check it out.
But see, in Peaky,
Outlaw King actually do a lot of. Aye, right, okay.
see in
Well, I
Peaky
should've
Blinders,
watched
though, the Scottish guys, if they just put Brian McCarthy in there, you know, Martin McCarthy's brother, if they just put Brian in there, it would
Get
have been
that,
so much
If
more
you've not
intense.
seen the episode we're with Martin McCarty,
Martin,
if you've
yeah.
not seen
Go
that
back
episode,
and
go
watch
back
it and you'll
rewatch.
see what we're talking
I'm
about.
just shouting out his brother.
That, but it seems to be one of these things that and it's very difficult to do. But you really should get that authentic accent because, but even the English one again, rewatching The Boys recently, that the boy man that the accent they've got, and it's such a heartbreaking scene it's meant to be where he's like, trapped in a dream speaking to his wee brother, and the accents are. Honestly, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Seen The
yeah,
Boy?
yeah.
That how bad it is. I was watching again. It's like that is so bad. You ever seen me about Jamaican? The wee boy sounds all over the place. He's Jamaican, he's English, he's American, he's Southampton, he's everywhere, and it's meant to be this pure heartbreaking scene. And I was like, even the chick I was watching me started laughing. She's like, "What is going on here?" And it's not somebody who would usually pick up. You know what I mean? Being like, "Oh, that's to this, that's to that." It was laughable, and
I'm
it's
going
like.
to call another one actually. Another one of the best Scottish accents I've ever heard, and that's the Kingsman, Mark Strong.
Oh yeah, he does do a good Scottish
Flawless
accent.
accent.
Yeah.
Very, very good. That's the only two I can think of that I've ever watched and thought, actually, you boys have nailed it.
Do you know who does a terrible Scottish accent? And he's Scottish. Gerard Butler. I think he's so Americanized now
Yeah.
that when he tries to be Scottish, you're like, what are you doing?
It sounds weird.
He doesn't
yeah.
sound American. He doesn't sound Scottish. He doesn't sound anything like what he's supposed to be.
Scotland.
Yeah,
I'm from
no.
Scotland.
No, I get you there. I get you that. And you know who else? Again, other Scottish people that do horrible Scottish accents for some reason. Almost anybody in the Scottish industry that's like get in front of a camera and they start doing like, "Oh, how are you today?" with this floaty up accent, and I'm going up here. I was watching. May as well not say it, but I was watching this Amazon thing again the other day. That's a Scottish sitcom that has come on, and I'm like, and I'm like the accent, and it's like it's this sitting having a conversation with each other. It's like, I don't like this. How come you said this? And I'm like, nobody speaks like that. Why do we? Anytime we get these shows in Scotland, I say, why does
the biggest problem with that show is the fact that they say it's directly in Glasgow.
Yeah, it's meant to be that.
But I think they use people from outside Glasgow for the show.
But it's
Who like a very quite unique accent.
they do with a few characters
Yeah.
definitely, but there's a few of them, and I've experienced. If you think about it, we probably have all been actors and stuff, but in college and in different places, or auditions or shows, that there is a certain kind of thing where it's like we get involved, we get our accent, and it's they try to make it. They try to slow down and make it that way that it's like people from another kind of audience can hear it like Americans, but instead of keeping their own accent and slowing it down, they go this up tilty we can, and it's very apparent because whenever you hear it back, you're like, that's not a Scottish accent. That's no, it is, but it's no that kind of thing that makes it free flowing. It's kind of, I didn't say that. Did you say that? I don't know. Why did you? And it's like nobody speaks like that.
Yeah, they're trying to enunciate the words that they want you to hear.
But they can't do it. They've no learned properly how to just do it naturally with their own thing. That it ends up this floaty, almost like uni accent, but going up at the end every time. And it that's my
It's
nothing.
funny that Still Game does well outside of Scotland. Like,
I
there's
think
been a lot
we
of-
discussed this previously. We said saying that a lot of the Scottish accent. It was with Mark McCarty. It was in that interview, wasn't it? We'd actually discussed saying that how the Scottish accent transfers out with, but it doesn't work a lot well when it comes back in. We watch a lot of shows with people with Scottish accent and go, as soon as anyone from Glasgow hears a Glasgow accent, they go, "Oh, that sounds terrible. That doesn't sound like me. That's awful."
Do you remember
But
the
it
Force?
works well when it goes out.
Do you remember the Force Awakens when Han and Chewie are kind of like trying to steal back the Falcon, and there's like a gang of like rebels that are, I don't know what they are, and there's a Scottish
I
guy
know-
that comes
I know-
in
no,
and he's
no,
like,
I know.
Han Solo.
I remember.
What
actually,
are you doing?
I think that boy. I think I knew that boy or something. I think he went to my college or something.
All right.
Something like that. I remember
Tell
it.
me it's terrible.
Like I remember saying it's the bit where they get.
College is the only story.
If it wasn't that, it was somebody I knew after. But I remember watching. I usually pure click because I remember watching it and being like, oh, I remember so and so was meant to be hanging. Then there it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, there is that. One that was good. I was going on about that game Starfield. Right, so that game Starfield. Have you heard about it?
I've heard of it. I've not seen.
It's like by Bethesda, you know, like Fallout, Skyrim, and all that kind of thing. So it's like the big game that's been in production for years. That became a massive RPG thing that only comes out every 10 years or so,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But it's basically Fallout or Skyrim in space, basically. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be doing a thing, but you're going and there is a Scottish guy. I think he's actually some kind of folk singer or something that's getting big. But there's a bit. One of the random interactions is you meet a guy who's like in his spaceship doing like a wee sea shanty song, and it's a Scottish guy who's got a very in it. What everything I'm talking about now is the opposite of it. It's a proper Scottish accent, so much so it sounds like he's foot in the corner because and it's in this big massive game. But he's like, "All right, mate, what's happening?" But because he's playing his sea shanty song, you end up talking to him, and he's, "All right, mate, what's happening?" Blah blah. No, I'm going to blast off this way. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Oh shit, that sounds that's good." That, do you know what I mean? And he does this wee lovely song before it, and it's like it was nice that it's in such a big universe, a Starfield and Bethesda and California's kind of like to have this proper wee Scottish guy. Do you know what I mean? And I think he is actually a semi-well-known kind of folk singer or something, but I don't know exactly who he is.
Speaking of accents, I've been rewatching Buffy at the moment.
All right.
And we were talking about James Masters, right, and how his Spike was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They have done an Audible like podcast version of
I
like
heard this,
stories
yeah.
out with. It's called Slayers. I listened to a clip of it last night because I was thinking, oh, that sounds good. They've got some of the characters. You get a wee bit more character development with them. Spike's going to be in it.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Oh no.
Like his accent's just really bad in it.
He lost it.
He's just completely lost it. I don't know if it's been just times passed and he's maybe overthinking it. It's just not the same. It doesn't sound like Spike.
He is older now as well.
Yeah.
He's in his 60s.
And also
Aye.
not as much as
God, is he?
Yeah, he's 62.
what? Jesus Christ. No wonder he says, I'm not going back to do Buffy again because I'm meant to be an immortal vampire. I'm fucking 62. And he was older than all of them, wasn't he? When he
Aye,
was
he's
filming?
born,
He was in
yeah.
their 40s when they were in their 20s and 30s. Do you know what I mean? Like because I remember them saying that. Because when he was, even at the, because I remember watching a bit and he was like really ripped for a scene. And I remember him going on about how hard he had to do to get ripped for that. Because and he was like, I'm in my 40s now. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, that was from about season 4, 5-ish. Do you know what I mean? That
Early
was like,
2000s.
aye.
Thinking, I didn't realise he was that
So
old.
yeah, he's held on there, but that's a shame to hear that it's got so bad. But it's also, I think we all know this is doing acting ourselves. Sometimes the reason we have directors, a director can get good stuff out of you that you can't get yourself at times. And as much as Joss Whedon's, you know, this and that, the next thing, and I hate him for Justice League, he's meant to be a bit of creep and all that. He's obviously a good director, and he might have been able to get something out of James Masters. Do you know what I mean? By
Yeah.
that when James is just sitting in front of you.
I think
Take
it was just
yourself.
Charisma Carpenter's phone number again.
Oh man, I had a poster on my
would've-
wall. Cordelia. God damn
Cordelia
it.
Chase,
God
man. Yeah,
damn it.
it was
She's a Slayer in this Slayers.
She's
so she
dead though.
I know, but it's like
What?
it's a universe.
spoiler
fit-
alert.
No,
It's almost
have you not
like-
watched a
I'm
30
joking. No, it's like there's.
Got a red.
I think they've done the whole kind of multiverse thing, and it's basically like you're getting like Cordelia as a Slayer.
Because I've seen
Kind of
Anya's
thing.
in it as well.
Yeah.
That and she's really dead. So
Yeah.
like so. We've all seen the end of Buffy and Angel.
I'm
No,
not, no.
like okay, God.
I was in love with Buffy when I was younger. First 3-4 seasons I watched over and over again, and I think I just fell out with it. And I never
Yeah.
watched the last
See,
couple of seasons.
I watched it when it was first coming out, loved it, but it was also at the time when I was a bit of bam, hanging about streets and stuff like that, going a bit of wasn't it all the time to sit and watching at 8 PM coming on. So then I kind of fell away with it as well. And I remember when I was about 19, I mean, about 18 or 19, I was in between jobs, shall we say, and I was sitting about and they were playing like 2 episodes of Buffy every morning, and I'd wake up every morning, roll up, kind and watch 2 episodes of Buffy every day, and I'll play it, and I was like, damn, this is amazing. And then after that, I bought the Angel box sets and sat and watched Angel, and yeah, they still to this day I think are some of the best shit out there. They were awesome. They really were good.
Angel was a bit like on a budget. It was kind of like
I like
limited.
No, Angel was amazing. Nah,
Aye.
Angel really found its feet, man. Angel was maybe if you're talking about if you watched the first few episodes, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Because they admit in the first few episodes doing the pilot, if you watch the back seasons, the vampires look a bit different. They're a bit lumpy, right? And like, no, they actually look like they've got like I don't know lumps on their face, and they're like that was a mistake. We're trying because Buffy was meant to be a thing about before you're an adult kind of thing, reading it in young adulthood with the university kind of thing and all these analogies and metaphors for puberty and young adulthood and going to uni and that. Angel was meant to be when you're an adult, like actual, because even this is why in one of the first episodes they have rape, they have things where it's like, oh God, like this is adult. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I need to give it a rewatch then.
so, but one of the things they did do is they made the vampires look a bit weird and they're like, right, we're trying to make it scarier, it just looks silly. So then they just went back to having the normal kind
Yeah,
of
because
vampire
I
thing.
think the vampires look very much like the vampires from the Lost Boys. They've got that kind
Yeah.
of the head sticks out. They look
Kinda
kind of similar. That's what I liked
yeah,
about them.
Yeah, you got. I always liked that look of the vampire, where instead of just the teeth, it's more like a demon in you that comes out. I always liked that. But as Angel goes on, but it actually could be argued better than Buffy because it really finds. Remember season 4 kind of falters. I liked it. A lot of people didn't. Then finds its feet again. It was in season 5, and it's really sad actually because just when it was finding its feet again. And they had like season 6 planned out and all this kind of thing. And season 5 is a big setup for season 6 kind of thing. And then apparently by episode 100, Joss Whedon got a call saying, oh, by the way, wrap up all your storylines in the next 10 episodes because that's you. Or the next 8 episodes or something even short. And they did, exactly. They've done
it so quick. They've done it well.
They've done it well, but you can tell it's rushed. But for what they get given, it's still a better ending than most TV shows. But it's like, damn, when you read what they had in store for season 6 for this and that, it's like, we got robbed. We absolutely got robbed. And it's just one of those same things like Daredevil getting cancelled. It was doing well, and they just went, it's cancelled. And they're like, what? Do you know what I mean? We've just done our 100th episode. We've got better ratings than ever. Why are you cancelling us? But that's it.
Done the same with Heroes.
Yeah.
Just cancelled out of the blue.
I just remember Angel was on Channel 5 when we had 5 channels.
Back in the day.
They've done a few interesting things. It was one of the first like crossover things. If there's a opposite episode of Buffy, you can see where like the phone rings and it's a pure random minute in the episode. Dawn answers it and she's like, hello? And it's Angel going, is Buffy there? And then she goes, yeah, no, she's here. And then hangs up. If you watch the Angel episode, he's actually Angelus and he's doing it, and it's like it just ties in, but it's no effect on the episode apart from that when she answers the phone. But there's these bits
I
that
love
tie
a
in.
good crossover.
So
I
always good
when it's done well.
Yeah. But talking of that, Heroes, man. Heroes was what season did Heroes get to? 5?
4.
I think it was it 4 and a bit?
4,
Or like
and then we had Reborn after.
That was shit as well.
Right. Do look at it, 'cause I think it's 5. I think because I remember thinking now they get the episode 5 years later. I remember thinking we're now at 5 years later at season 5 and we don't have like Heroes still Hero Nakamura. Do you know what I mean? It's not kind of this thing. Then they had the Heroes Reborn thing. I remember
Are you
that.
sure there was 5 seasons?
But this is what I was saying.
I'll
It was
check,
kind
I'll
of,
check.
if I remember, it was like 4, and then they had a big stoppage again, and then it was like, so it was like
thought 4 was
4.5 or 4. they had, see if you can look it up, see, because it was the
I've only
fourth
ever
season.
seen 1 and a bit of 2. I think 2 was when the writer's strike happened, and I was just like,
two's
nah,
right.
The
that's
fourth season was the guy out of Prison Break. Remember the guy out of Prison Break? Who was the really bad guy? Who was like the wee guy?
And Teabag.
Teabag. 4 seasons. 4 seasons.
Four
But there was, so the 4th season, but I think they'd done something where they had a big stoppage in the middle, and then they started because it was a different like storyline. Because the 4th season was him, he could move the ground, and he was a carny, but he was this evil carny.
Robert
kind of thing.
Nepper,
Robert Nipper, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Born in
And-
1957.
who should have been Freddy Krueger
Probably.
10, 15 years ago.
See, I'm trying to remember this. The 5th season was when they tried to start bringing some things back, like being like, oh, remember the 1st season? Do you know what I mean? They started to try to, and it just by that time was too late. Do you know what I mean? But well, I think is the 5th season, it was like 4 and a bit or something, because there was a stoppage in the middle where this storyline's over, and then it's the next one. Do you know what I mean? Like,
See, the last bit I remember was when Claire was climbing up
One more.
the what do you call it, the big wheel.
yeah.
And that was it.
Maybe I'm mistaken then, because the big wheel would have been at the carnival. That would have been to do with him.
I
being
thought that was
bad
the
guy.
last episode ever.
Maybe it was.
And then
Maybe I'm
like,
mistaken
oh.
then. But it was. It's such
What
a
were you
shame.
I was actually doing that like,
I done that with most episodes of Heroes after the thing because I always wanted to be so good because the first season was amazing. Sylar, the bad guy, being in and all that was like edgy or seat stuff. Like,
Zachary Quinto.
oh my god,
Owned it. He owned it.
He was
Killed
cool,
it.
man.
his introduction to the show as well when he's in the wee shop and he's fixing the clock. Remember that? I'm like, who's this guy? He's gonna be rubbish. And then it turned out to be amazing. I loved him.
Yeah, and the whole thing about the whole thing, how he got the powers, where Peter Petrelli is like meant to be like really sensitive, so he gets it by being near you because he understands you. He has to work it out. There was a whole lore to the show that was really, really cool. That really was just amazing. And then they shagged it up the arse. Like,
Yeah, they didn't. It was the writer's strike that kind of done it all in.
also, the producers apparently said that Tim Kring's version of it was to be new characters every season, like the heroes of the world. And the producers went, no, Peter Petrelli, Sylar, blah blah. If they loves them, keep them alive. So that was another thing I'll give them.
We'll close off the episode with a wee bit of news that just came out just before I seen. It's quite interesting. I remember I told you a few episodes ago there's a Harry Potter TV series is coming. HBO are taking it, so it's quite big budget. It's quite a lot going on. So it looks like we're going to get somebody playing Voldemort, a very specific person.
Oh, I know who it is.
Dave, did you see it?
No, I don't know who it is. Is it Ralph Fiennes?
That was good.
He's got the nose for it.
Is it going to be some young little bitch actor that's going to piss me off?
No, right, and this is my question, because when we discussed this,
Either someone trans, someone of a different ethnicity, or
it's all of them.
oh, fuck
God.
So it's going to be a 10-year game, right? And I think this guy's a bit old to be playing it. And I don't mean to be ageist. It was Bill Nighy to play Voldemort.
Why? He's great.
He's great.
Nye? But why Nye?
Bill's nice.
Sounds like a witch.
Oh, you don't know how Bill Nye. You
No,
don't
wait a
know how
minute,
Bill
but
Nye
not the
is.
science guy. Like
No,
you're
no.
talking
Bill Nye,
about
the science guy.
the other dude that was in like, Love Actually and all that.
Yeah,
I actually really like him as an actor. That
But if we're going to go on a 10-year journey with these characters, they're going right back to the start. Voldemort being,
Oh, he's 70 odd.
is he going to be okay?
I guess he's guaranteed though. He's like, listen, I'm going to be fine.
But I see maybe just playing the present day old creepy ass Voldemort where they're going to have a young guy for Tom Thingme and all that kind of stuff.
What he's done right is he's like, I'll sign a 10-year contract and I'll die in 2, but I'll get my money in 1. I'll have a real good time.
Not a bad idea. HBO Harry Potter. I mean, they could go a bit more badass with it. Do you know what I mean? They could go a bit more.
You know they're
kinda-
not. It's going to be like Wednesday. Yeah, like a bit worse.
Yeah.
liked Wednesday.
Not like Wednesday, but I mean like Wednesday felt like Harry Potter.
Wednesday's my least favourite day.
I don't like Mondays, but
They should call it Thursday then. But I just think it's Harry Potter. The TV show is just not going to be good.
Yeah.
I think it was magical movies. That was.
Predictions are in. There you go.
Who's playing Harry Potter? Do you think then?
Don't know, this could probably be a newbie. I'm going with a newbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be pointless giving it to somebody and then having any sort of stigma from any show.
Yeah, I think they all have to be newbies because they were all original newbies in
Yeah,
the original.
yeah.
So
it's going to be fucking Elliot Page or something in it.
Also too old. Also too old.
But she can kid on other ways. But it's got to be something silly like that.
Well, we made it.
Survived.
We survived with Chris's.
Horrendous. I got a good bit out of me. So sounding a bit weird.
Nah, you did fine.
Aye.
You did well, man.
So yeah, as always, get involved in the comments. If you want to get engaged with us, we want to engage with you, so we need other people to do that. So
I'll be
yeah.
commenting.
Barry is the only one that comments.
Disagree with myself.
now that you're a
comment
part of it, we've got nobody to comment.
I'll stop commenting.
I'll argue with you. I'll argue with you. Comment. Be pyropause, but
It's just going to be
Love
4 of us arguing with each other.
Until someone else joins in, we dare you. But yeah, that's been another great episode. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
And we can do this all day.
Much love.
Bye.
Stole my quote.